super fail. So I thought I was recording, but I was not. But here I am now, hopefully recording this. So ultimately, hi. I say ultimately a lot. My name is Amy, and I want to talk to you today about this idea of health at every size. But first, I want to share a little bit of information with you regarding what my plans are for wellness and my challenge groups using Beachbody products and my wellness group. In terms of that, I probably have already mentioned that I am a psychotherapist by trade. I have a master's degree in counseling psychology. I'm a certified chemical dependency professional in the state of Washington, soon to be substance use disorder professional, I'm assuming. And I'm also a master addiction counselor, certified master addiction counselor. And I'm a doctoral student in counseling psychology working on my dissertation right now. And one of the things that I have studied a lot, specifically over the last few years, 4 or 5 years, is shame. Not only related to substance use disorders, because that's my specialty, one of the things I specialize in, but also eating disorders, which has a really heavy overlap with substance use disorders. I have found not everybody who has an eating disorder engages in substance use disorder, but there is a very high correlation between the two of those things. And so, I look at a lot of my work and research has been done on like body shaming and just this culture of narcissism that we live in now, in terms of, it's not okay to be average anymore. And, as soon as all of us get to the mark of above average becomes average again, and now we're all lame and losers. We need to up the ante over and over and over again in order to be constantly above average, and that's taking a toll on our mental health, our wellness, etc. And so one of my goals in doing this wellness group is to help people get out of that game and to start treating each other and specifically themselves with compassion. Not only their internal mentals, but also, your bodies, and how we can create a community that involves respect and compassion for all, no matter what. So my dissertation I'm working on right now has to do with the intersection of shame and narcissism as a protective factor, and also self-compassion and how that translates into compassion for others. And so I've been doing a lot of studying and research. I also am enrolled in a certificate program at UC Berkeley for eating disorders treatment, and I do a lot of research about that and work with people who have some pretty significant and severe eating disorder problems. So this is something that I care about very deeply, and would like to expand my practice into whole mind-body health coaching. So that's what I'm attempting to do with these challenge groups, and the not only the Beachbody challenge groups, but the wellness group, and also some of the mini challenge groups that I'll be hosting as well. So I am available for answering all questions in regards to mental health, mental wellness, eating disorders, nutrition, fitness, things of that nature. If I don't know the answer, and I will definitely be honest with you, if I don't know something, I absolutely will say that. I am an expert in some things, but definitely not all things. So I consider my expertise to be in co-occurring mental health and substance use disorders, working on eating disorders as well. So, but what I wanted to talk to you about today was this basically health at every size and what that looks like. I've been doing Beachbody programs now for a little over a year, and I initially started doing them because I was not taking very good care of myself. I wasn't in a place where I was being very compassionate with myself, both my body and my mental state at the time. And so I got involved in Beachbody products because I needed something to help me stay on track with my fitness, and I actually enjoy working out and use it for stress management more so than weight management or anything like that. So What I wanted to talk about today involves, practicing compassion for ourselves and others, and it's called Health at Every Size, and it's a community that is, based on some principles, and some of these principles basically are around to help us be at peace in our bodies. Doesn't that sound lovely? Just being at peace in your body sounds amazing, doesn't it? Being at peace in our bodies and supporting people of all sizes and finding compassionate ways to take care of themselves. Compassion means treating yourself with kindness. Compassion means treating not only your body but also your mind with kindness. And one of the things that I've been studying compassion for a while as well. I just finished a really good book by Paul Gilbert called The Compassionate Mind. I highly recommend it if you're interested in learning about how to be a more compassionate human on this planet and in this life. It was a really, really good book, and I'll probably be incorporating a lot of those exercises into some of my challenge groups as well. But ultimately, Health at Every Size includes the following basic components, and one of them is respect. Including respect for body diversity. The fact of the matter is we all have different bodies. We all have different genetics, and regardless of a person's size, or, what he or she looks like, we should just have respect for the diversity that is the human race. Another basic component of Health at Every Size is engaging in compassionate self-care. So one of the things that I've learned through practicing self-compassion is to ask myself, is what I'm about to do or what I'm about to put in my body, is this treating myself kindly? And if the answer is no, sometimes I'll do it anyway, but not always. And so a lot of times I think to myself, is what I'm about to do, say, eat, is this compassionate? And so being aware of that. But compassionate self-care in this sense basically means eating in a flexible and attuned manner that values pleasure and honors internal cues of hunger, satisfaction, and appetite. So being flexible with our eating and also being attuned to how food is impacting our body. One of the things I will also share with you is this theory. I guess it's not really theory. Well, it could be. It's intuitive eating. And some of you may have heard of this before, but it's basically just using your own body as cues on when to eat, how much to eat, what to eat, and doing it in a way that's incredibly mindful. I'll also be talking about and teaching you about mindful eating, which I'm super big on mindfulness, and mindful eating is a way to really practice this flexible and attuned manner of ingesting food. Compassionate self-care also involves finding the joy in moving your body and being physically active. There's a saying that I've heard is if you don't enjoy physical activity, it's because you haven't found your thing yet. And so if you run and you freaking hate it, then running is probably not for you. If you do yoga and you freaking hate it, it's probably not your thing. It's probably not for you. So pay attention to the physical activities that you enjoy. I do enjoy running on the treadmill, less so out in the real world, but that's a different story. I also enjoy going to the gym. I love being on the elliptical machine. I love doing the fake bike. I love doing the stair climber. Part of the reason why I love doing those things, aside from the physical activity that I get to engage in, is I also get to read on those things. And so I take my books to the gym, after work, and I get, at least 45 minutes of reading done, which to me is amazing, and I love it. So not everybody can read on exercise machines. I get that, but that's one of the reasons why I enjoy going to the gym and doing that. I also really enjoy backpacking and hiking. Not such a big dancer. I'm not a big dancer. I do enjoy yoga, I don't know how I would do with a Zumba class or whatever. So it's really just finding the thing that you love to do and then doing that. I also really like doing the Beachbody programs. I've done 21 Day Fix, which I really like. I'm currently doing 21 Day Fix Extreme. And also, while I'm traveling, I've been doing Brazil butt lift, which is fun because I get to dance, dance if you can call it that. But I do the robot, even though you're supposed to be dancing like a Brazilian who has moves or whatever, which is totally not me. And I've been doing Insanity Max 30 and taking my Beachbody on demand with me, which has T25 and has hundreds of workout videos, so I can go anywhere and take that with me and have all that stuff to do. And I've enjoyed all of the things that I've done so far on Beachbody. So that's compassionate self-care, is basically eating in a flexible and attuned manner and finding joy in moving your body and being physically active in whatever way makes sense to you and in whatever way feels good to you. So again, like, if you don't enjoy it, stop doing that. It's okay. Also, one of the principles components is critical awareness. So basically, health at every size challenges scientific and cultural assumptions, and that's a pretty big deal. And health at every size also values body knowledge and people's lived experiences. And what that means is that you are your best expert on your life, on your body, and also just your experiences. I practice this all the time as a therapist. In fact, it's in my disclosure statement. So when I meet with a client for the first time, I let them know right up front, like, I am not the expert here. I know some things. I know some skills I can teach you. I've been trained on how to do psychotherapy, but you are your expert. You're going to know yourself far better than I ever will in every capacity. So the same is true for fitness groups and challenge groups and Beachbody and nutrition and all that other kind of stuff. Like, if you are in tune to yourself, you will know what's best for you. So I can make recommendations like, oh, hey, why don't you try PIO, or why don't you try 21-day fix? But ultimately, like, if it doesn't feel good to you, then it's not for you. And I would never, indicate that you must do this or you have to do this, because I am not you and I don't know you. And so also, one of the things that's important is I need you to teach me about you and also to guide me. I am a good therapist, and I want to be the best therapist for each individual. And in order to be that person, I need to receive feedback from you. And so feedback is really, really important to me. So I'm going to be eliciting, individual feedback after every challenge group. And it's just really important, because I need to be able to, as a coach, as a motivator, as somebody who's supporting other people, like, I need each individual to teach me how to do that. So how Sally feels supported might not be how Susie feels supported. How Barb feels motivated might not be how Brenda feels motivated. And so I elicit feedback and I take that into consideration for each subsequent challenge group. That's one of my goals, is to have feedback informed challenge groups, which is really, really important. It's one of the things I employ in my psychotherapy services as well, is like, how are we doing? How am I doing? Did that work? Did that not work? What could we do differently next time? I do this for all my treatment groups. I am always eliciting feedback because your feedback is so important to me. But basically what that means is, again, like, you are your best expert, so do what is right for you. If you are interested in learning more about the Health at Every Size community, you can actually go to their website. And again, the principles help us to be at peace with our bodies and supporting all of us with compassion, which is amazing. But the website is HAES community. So HAESCOMMUNITY.com. And you can read more information about the Health at Every Size. You can sign the pledge, which I'm about to do right after this if you want to. But basically, you're pledging to engage in these principles. There's also a couple of recommendations for books, and I will definitely be providing you with information about books and things that you can follow up on and do your own research. Part of my challenge groups will be to do a little bit of reading, not an insane amount, but I might post like a chapter or an excerpt from a book about, total body wellness, and have you read it and then comment on it and start a discussion that way. But the more we're talking, the more we're dialoguing about all this stuff, I think the stronger our communities will be and the healthier we will be as individuals. So that is my vlog for this Sunday. Again, I'm posting early because I will not be here this Sunday, it's the July still. July 31st. So yeah, I'm probably going to post this tonight before I leave my office. So again, if you have any questions or want to go check out Health at Every Size website, please do so, and join me in the pledge to treat ourselves with kindness and compassion.